favorite color isn't cheeseburger and that's mean, then people get after him even more. Case in point, the Kurt Schilling thing the other day. He's, I'm all excited. My daughter's going to go to university. Some guys at that university tweeted, oh, don't worry, we'll take care of her. And now we had the authorities involved. He actually had those kids kicked out of school. They've been either suspended or booted from school. And the dude that wrote the tweet in question, which may or may not have spurred Phil Kessel to say something about his friend Dion Phaneuf, we don't know. He's in trouble too. What kind? I don't know. But this should be a lesson to everybody on Twitter. This should be a lesson to everybody in media. And good for Phil Kessel for providing that lesson.
Well, I agree, but I mean, that tweet was ridiculous, and what happened was ridiculous, and an apology was made yesterday. But, like, that's getting away from some. That's the fans being idiots, right? Was Kessel right to blow up at the media yesterday? And it wasn't just about that tweet. I think it triggered his anger. But he was talking about the media being too hard on Dion Phaneuf. And is the media too hard on Dion Phaneuf? I've thought for a long time that fans had it out for Phaneuf far before the media was hard on him.
But why? Why do the fans? Because we haven't won, or because Dion hasn't tried? It's not a case of him not trying.
And that's another thing. Phil Kessel says the media writes that he doesn't try. I don't remember seeing that. I've heard fans say he's slow and he's a terrible captain. That opinion's been out there for.
How do they know he's a terrible captain? Are they in the dressing room, or are they just going by hearsay?
No, but fans are never in the dressing room.
How do they know? This is the.
Well, you put four massive collapses. Back to back.
So is it his fault?
No, but he's the captain of the team.
Okay, so let me ask you something. I agree there's responsibility there. What's the one common denominator with the Toronto Maple Leafs organization? Losing?
Losing.
For how long?
Forever.
Who's the only group the only people that have been consistently there during this time period? Ownership. The people that own the team. That's it. So ownership has continually put the wrong people in the wrong positions. Phil Kessel has done nothing other than produce for the last 4 or 5 years that he's been here. Nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. As good or bad. And you know what? People go, oh, he doesn't play any defense. You can tweet me to call me a moron because Phil Kessel doesn't play defense, and he doesn't like talking, and he's not articulate. I know another one of those guys, and he's treated like royalty, and his name's Wayne Gretzky. He never played 1 second of defense in his life. You want to talk about waving a stick at some guy in the neutral zone? That's all he did. He didn't even do that.
They already put up 200 points a year, and they won.
Different time, and I know that. Yeah, I know that. But they also surrounded Wayne Gretzky with a group of guys that could play. He had Messier, he had Fogelman, he had Lowe, he had Krushelnyski, he had Jari Kurri. He even had Yaroslav Pozar.
Which is fantastic. But the question is, the basic...
That's the glue of the Oilers dynasty, D.
The basic point I think Phil was trying to make was that is the media too hard on Dion Phaneuf? And do you guys think the media is?
Well, the problem is, because a lot of fans are going to blame the media today, but it's the fans who demand this coverage. They want to see everything reported about the Toronto Maple Leafs. So there's going to be those fans saying it's always the media's fault, but you're the ones who want to know this information.
Yeah.
And this doesn't happen in Florida with the Panthers when there's like dozens of people in the stands and there's one camera there after the game because they don't care.
Yeah. Tens of
dozens
watched
a baker's dozen was last night because the Leafs were in town. There were some snowbirds at the game, right? Anyway, more on that today. Today's big story. Phil Kessel goes off defending Dion. We'll hear from Dion in just a few minutes, and DeMar DeRozan coming up next. Right now, time for the top 5 things you need to know today. Brought to you by Rogers Hometown Hockey, Sundays on City TV.
These are the 5 things you need to know.
If it's your life dream to have something signed by Gary Bettman, come on down to the Rogers Studios. It's on my bucket list. Get Bettman to sign this. I'll get him to sign my legal document, and then I'll get it tatted up. Yeah. Anyway, lots of execs in studios today. Sportsnet 590, The Fan, Gary Bettman in studio. Hockey Central at noon, and primetime sports today at 5. Donald Fair as well. He'll be in studio on Hockey Central at 12:30. Bill Daly the assistant commissioner of the NHL in Studio 2 with Tim and Sid, apparently a very big announcement today. Do you know what it is?
I have an inkling, but I'm not going to say.
Well, I'm just saying if you knew.
I sort of know. I don't know if we're supposed to say.
Okay, good. Don Fear. You can just tell me it's not Fair. It looks like Fair.
I know.
Is it Derek Fair? Anyway, they'll all be here. Big announcement. Number 4, the Jays lost their preseason opener 8-7 to the Pirates. Aaron Sanchez, not good. 5 runs, 2 earned in 1 1/3 innings pitched. He got pulled. He says, it's no big deal.
I want to go out there and compete and do well. I think that's every competitor wants to do that, but just today wasn't my day. But I can learn from that, and I will take that into my side, in a few days, and get back out there in 5 days.
Yeah, Ryan.
I love what he said. It was like, no big deal. You don't want a rookie standard. He sounds like a veteran already. That's good. Guys work on stuff, and of course he starts, right? So people don't overreact. Sanchez, you'll be just fine. And check Game 2 of the preseason today with Jerry, Joe, and Mike at 1 on Sportsnet590.ca.
If you overreact Game 1 of the Grapefruit League schedule, you got to check yourself.
If you're not really snapping, if you're snapping yesterday after Game 1.
Yeah.
Sanchez,
I don't know. I don't like him.
Well, he'll never be a starter in the league.
Maybe you shouldn't watch baseball because you just take it too personally.
Russell Martin will be with us at 8:15 this morning. That'll be fun. Number 3 thing you need to know today, the big trade in the NFL. Bills trading linebacker Kiko Alonso to the Eagles for former NFL rushing leader LaShawn McCoy. I know who won this one. Kiko Alonso, he got out of Buffalo.
That's not very nice.
I know. Oh,
Shots fired.
No, it's a good trade for Buffalo. The Bills got a lot stronger yesterday.
And this isn't a guy who's washed up like when LaDainian Tomlinson went to the Jets, when Edgerrin James went to the Cardinals. Shady McCoy's only 26, but who the hell's going to throw the football in Buffalo to him? Wow, they don't have a quarterback team.
They lost out on the Josh McCown sweepstakes.
Right.
But it is exciting with Watkins and McCoy on the field. Going Bills game is going to be cool.
But if they can get a signal call, or if they can get a guy to actually play the quarterback position well and be able to engineer that, then it'll be fun. But yeah, they've got weapons now. It's exciting. Huge. Rex Ryan's just probably over the moon.
Like he can't wait to get his feet wet in the season, Dean.
Yeah. He's jumping 2 feet in. Number 2, big one tonight at the Air Canada Center. LeBron and the Cavs tip off against the Raptors. Kyle Lowry, not knowing if he's going to return. Big question. Dwayne Casey on Kyle right here.
I'd much rather rest Kyle now and then wrap it up and kind of get a rhythm as we get closer to the playoffs.
I would too. This is one of those ones you just kind of look at it and you say, that's a loss. Just forget it. Let's rest everybody.
You can't
start Steamsma. Let's start Steamsma. Yeah.
It sucks if Kyle's not in the lineup, but there's bigger things than winning tonight's huge game, which you can catch on Sportsnet 590 at 7:30. Pregame at 7.
Yeah, with Eric Smith and Paul Jones, and DeMar DeRozan will be on the show coming up in just a couple of minutes here, so hold on for that. The number 1 thing you need to know today, Leafs win 3-2 in Florida. Goalies falling like leaves. They almost went to their 3rd goalie, who was their goalie coach, but they did pull it out. The big story again, Phil Kessel going off on the media earlier. We'll get to that and play you the clip of Phil losing his mind. Here's the Leaf captain, though, as Phil stood up for Dion. Here's what Dion had to say about what Phil said.
It means a lot that Phil said that. I have a lot of respect for Phil and the way that he deals with everything and the way that he plays the game. He's one of the top goal scorers. He's probably the most gifted goal scorer that I've played with, and I think that it meant a lot for him to say what he said, and now we move forward.
6:16, those are the top 5 things